الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. So it's my honor to be with you tonight. My name is Muhammed Ismail. I'm coming from Japan, north of Japan actually, Hokkaido, and it's my first time in Birmingham. Jazakumullah khairan for coming. So today, inshallah, I want to discuss with you a wonderful topic. And this wonderful topic was mentioned by the great Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala. He just wrote a letter for one of his close friends, Alauddin. He was just a friend of Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim. And this small letter the Imam wrote and gave, subhanallah al-azim, it became a famous book, and it's explained a lot by scholars all over this time. So I will simplify it for you. Hopefully, inshallah, in these few minutes, we are getting into details and gaining a lot of knowledge and benefits from this message and advice and will from an Imam to his friend. So, in the beginning of this booklet, Al-Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentioned that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you, my brother, Mubarak wherever you are. Then he started to explain what does it mean to be Mubarak. Who knows what does it mean a Mubarak person, a blessed person? What does it mean? Do you have an idea? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Maryam, that Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, he said, وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ, and he made me Mubarak wherever I am. What does it mean, a Mubarak person? Anyone have any idea? No answer?
Pious?
No, not pious.
Mercy?
Merciful, not merciful also. Yes. Gifted. Not so. This is maybe the linguistic meaning. Yeah. Yes? Blessed, yes. It's true, but what does it mean blessed? Seeking?
Teaching knowledge.
Oh, mashallah, that's correct answer. If I have a gift, I will give you one gift. Mashallah. Yes, the scholars, they interpreted the ayah, Mubarakan aynama kunt, ay mualliman lil khair. I'm teaching the goodness. I'm teaching the proper knowledge for people, wherever I am. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Isa alayhi salatu wassalam Mubarak wherever he was. And that's how a person becomes a blessed person, a Mubarak person. How to be a blessed person? That you are teaching the proper knowledge wherever you go. That you are spreading the truth wherever you are. Enjoining good and forbidding evil. This is how to be a Mubarak person. And that's why Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim said, whoever has this attribute, then he is Mubarak. And whoever does not have it, he does not have any barakah. Subhanallah al-Azim. And as much as you have from this attribute and actions that you are teaching people the goodness and the truth and the pure knowledge, as much as you will have the percentage of barakah. Then Al-Imam rahimahullah, he mentioned about a very important point, which is the types of hidayah. And he advised his brother that he said that most of people, they go to Jahannam path, they take the path of shaitan, they go astray because of two major things, al-ghafla wa ittiba'u al-hawa. Al-ghafla, forgetfulness. They forget their real fate. They forget the hereafter. They forget the death. They forget accountability in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after death, they forget it. They just become too much involved and immersed in the desires of this dunya. Forgetfulness. Ad-dallin. The misguided. They are forgetting. And the other one, ittiba'ul hawa, following one's passions, following one's desires, lusts. Ittiba'ul hawa takes you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These two things, any person, wal'adu billah, will have it both, he is finished. Khalas. The shaitan overwhelmed him and he is going to Jahannam. That's why Imam after that he mentioned, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us to recite Surah Al-Fatiha how many times every day? At least 17 times. We have 17 rak'ah in the 5 prayers. At least 17 times you are saying, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, guide us to the straight path, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, the path of those whom you granted them, you blessed them with your blessing, with your hidayah. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. Not those who got your wrath or your anger or the misguided ones. Those who got the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Yahud, the Jews, they knew the truth but they are not following because they are following their own passions, they are following their own desires. اتباع الهوى. الضالين, misguided, forgetful people. Nasara, the Christians. So we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this dua a lot every day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us to the straight path. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the straight path till the end of our lives. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Then the Imam mentioned wonderful examples about the types of hidayah. Maybe now I want to ask you, hidayah, guidance, what do you think? How many types of hidayah, of guidance, do you know? Can you give me examples? We know hidayah, we know guidance, but it has a lot of details. Give me one example. Hidayatul hadith. Okay, we make it more generalized like hidayatul ilm, the knowledge. That's correct. That we need the hidayah to know the truth. We need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the hidayah to know, to understand, to have the knowledge, the certain knowledge of the truth. And definitely all of us, we will keep on learning until we die. Because the details of the truth are a lot. The details of the meanings of the Quran, mashallah, a lot. The details of the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, a lot. So first we need hidayatul ilm, guidance of knowledge. What else?
There's 2 hidayahs.
Okay. MashaAllah, mumtaz. Excellent. So that is the common classification that we have 2 major hidayah. Hidayatul dalala wal irshad. This is what our brother mentioned, that the hidayah of the ilm, knowledge, to know the truth. And the second one, simply to apply it, to implement it. Okay, I know that Qiyamul Layl is very nice, but I don't do. I know that fasting Mondays and Thursdays, very important, but I don't do. I know that seeking knowledge is very, very essential for me in this dunya and the akhirah, but I don't seek the knowledge. So, I have to know the truth and how to do it and how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do it, and then I need hidayatul tawfiq, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports me to do it, to implement what I know. If someone knows how to travel from Birmingham to London, he knows the route very well, but he sleeps at home. He will never reach London, right? He has to take his to drive, and he takes his car and go to London, takes the route. But what benefits you if you know how to go but you're not going? That's exactly for most of us. We know a lot, but we do not apply it. So, okay, that's two types, the major types regarding these classifications. However, the Imam mentioned, we need the hidayah in many things that we thought we know it on its proper way, but we discovered after some time that we didn't know it properly and we were doing it wrongly. So we need to have tawbah and to correct our belief. We need hidayah that maybe we have general hidayah about knowing, seeking knowledge is very rewardable, and seeking the Islamic knowledge is one of the best ever deeds. Even Imam Ahmad and others, they mention that this is the best ever deed you can do in Islam after fara'id, after compulsory, obligatory actions. Okay, I know it's like, I got it, but I don't know how to seek the knowledge. So you need more detailed hidayah after the general hidayah, so you can understand how to take the path of seeking knowledge, from whom to seek knowledge, and which priorities, by which books I should start, and so on. You need detailed hidayah after the general hidayah in many things in Islam. You need hidayah to thabat. Alhamdulillah, you knew the truth, you are applying the truth, but maybe you do it one day and you leave it another day. So you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you steadfastness on this hidayah, on coming to apply this truth every day. Hidayah to thabat, to keep on doing that. You need hidayah ad-da'wah ila Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what you know, what you have known. You knew the truth, you applied the truth, and you are keep on doing the truth, but you need to call others for this truth. A lot of details in the hidayah, subhanallah al-azim, that we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us this hidayah every day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the complete hidayah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the full hidayah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the grateful slaves for the hidayah. Al-hidayah is a very wide topic. And as long as you learn more, as long as you know that you need more hidayah, and as long as you keep on getting closer to Allah, as long as you repent from the previous days you lived as you feel that you didn't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala properly, so that is because Allah gave you more hidayah. So these are the types of hidayah. Al-Imam just gave some examples. After that, Al-Imam focused on one wonderful ayah. Just one ayah. And by this ayah I will end up. But it's very rich and very deep. So let's take it in depth. This ayah, ayah number 24 in Surah As-Sajdah. Who amongst us wants to be a role model for the righteous, pious believers? Everyone, right? All of us, we would like to be a role model for the righteous, pious believers. And it came in this ayah how to be, in a wonderful way. Subhanallah al-Azim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. And we made amongst them أئمة, imams. يهدون بأمرنا, they are guiding by our commandments, by our commands. لما صبروا, when they were patient. وكانوا بآياتنا يوقنون, and they were certain by our signs, by our ayat. Al-Imam rahimahullah mentioned that in this ayah there are 4 principles to be imam for the pious. And to be imam for the pious, it doesn't mean to be imam for salah. Imam in the masjid, no. Maybe you are not imam in the masjid, but you are imam for the pious. Maybe you are not famous, you are not popular, but you are imam for the righteous believers. How to be in this very high level? Subhanallah al-Azim. 4 principles. Number 1, as-sabr, patience. Without sabr, impossible. Many of us, they start taking the route and they follow the truth, but they don't have sabr to continue. How many Muslims you know, he or she started seeking the Islamic knowledge, but they stopped. They joined some academies, they joined some universities, Islamic ones, and then they stopped. How many Muslims you know, they started memorizing the Quran and then they didn't finish. They started many times to memorize the whole Quran, but after some time they got tired and they stopped. That's because they don't have sabr, patience. How many person in Ramadan, they come to Fajr prayer, mashallah, masajid in Ramadan are full. And every day, mashallah, reading the Quran, mashallah, a lot of dhikr. After Ramadan, no sabr to continue, to come to Masjid, to come to Fajr, to pray Qiyam al-Layl, to read the portion from the Quran and so on. Subhanallah al-Azim, no sabr, no patience. And because of sabr as well, many people, they fall into haram and they go astray because they don't have sabr to protect themselves from being away from haram. So we need sabr to keep on doing the worships. We need sabr, patience, to keep away, to refrain from doing the haram stuff. And we need sabr when we have the hardships, trials, tribulations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These tests come, these hardships, we need to be patient and to be pleased and satisfied with Allah's destinies. And say, Alhamdulillah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma ajurni fi musibati wa akhlif li khayran minha. Sabr, iman, connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need sabr. And the second principle, which is very, very, very important, al-yaqeen. Yaqeen in Arabic means certainty, not just to know, ilm, just to know, knowledge. Yaqeen is higher, is deep and certain knowledge which has no doubts. Clear knowledge, certain and deep knowledge. No one can shake you. No one can let you to have doubts about your deen, about Allah, about Islam, about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. You are so confident, mashallah. You need this certainty, al-yaqeen. And if you think about it, that by sabr, by patience, you are taking away desires. And by yaqeen, certainty, you are taking away doubts. And these are the two major gates of the shaitan. He is getting people into Jahannam through it. Ash-shahawat, desires, wash-shubuhat, doubts and misconceptions. By these two major gates, shaitan is grasping and attracting people and taking them into his path to Jahannam, wal-'adhu billah. And by sabr, you are closing the gate of shahawat, alhamdulillah, desires. And by yaqeen, certainty, you are closing the gate of shubuhat. And living in such countries, I'm living in Japan as well. Maybe Japan is a bit different, but we have very open gates for desires and open gates for doubts, both. And many people, they fall into these two gates. So if you don't have enough patience, you will fall. If you don't have enough knowledge, certain knowledge, you will fall in doubts. Shaitan will come to you, Shaitan from the jinn or from humans will come to you and tell you, come on. Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you? Do you think you are on the truth? Then how you are poor? And the non-Muslims, they are rich. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept and answer your calls and dua? While those non-Muslims, they are enjoying their life. Doubts. Satanic doubts from the shaitan. If you don't have certainty, you cannot answer, you cannot reply. You will accept, you will fall. That's why, please, try to memorize this sentence, which should be written by gold. بالصبر واليقين تنال الإمامة في الدين. I will say it again. بالصبر واليقين, by patience and certainty. تنال الإمامة في الدين. Imamah, to be a role model in the deen, is being achieved through it. So how to be imam for the pious? By two main things, sabr and yaqeen. Can you memorize the sentence? بالصبر واليقين تنال الإمامة في الدين. And then Al-Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, he added two more principles, very important and mentioned in the same ayah. And he said without it also, you cannot be an imam for the pious. What are these two other principles? He said, it's mentioned in the beginning of the ayah, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. These two words, two principles. يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. Yahdun means they are guiding others. They are calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are working in da'wah. Every Muslim should work in da'wah. You have no excuse not to participate in da'wah. It doesn't mean every Muslim will give khutbah. It doesn't mean every Muslim will give a lecture. It doesn't mean every Muslim you have to give fatwa. No. But every Muslim should convey the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala according to his level of knowledge. بلغوا عني ولو آية. Convey about me even a single ayah. How many ayah you conveyed from the Quran to others? How many hadith you conveyed about the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to others? How many person reverted to Islam throughout you? How many Muslim repented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of you? All of us, we know the importance of the 5 prayers and the importance of hijab, zakat, siyam and so on. All of us, we know how bad and how evil it is to drink alcohol and fall into zina and not to have the hijab and to have riba, interest and so on. But who is advising? Who is calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Few. Mostly people are silent. يهدون بأمرنا, guiding others. You have to work in da'wah. قال الله جل جلاله, in end of Surah Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني. Listen to this wonderful, beautiful ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام, say, O Muhammad, قل هذه سبيلي, this is my path, this is my way. What's the way of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam? Ad'u ila Allah. I call to Allah. Just calling to Allah? No. Ala basira. On certain knowledge. Basira, very clear. I can see what I'm calling to very clearly. I'm on very confident ground for what I'm calling to. Ad'u ila Allah ala basira. I call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on certain knowledge. أنا ومن اتبعني, myself and whoever follows me. And that's why please listen also to this wonderful sentence that Imam Ibn Al-Qayyim mentioned. Accordingly he said, ولا يكون من أتباع الرسول على الحقيقة إِلَّا مَنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرًا. From this ayah, Al-Imam mentioned, he will not be from the true followers of the Prophet. He will not be considered a true follower of the Messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam, except he who calls to Allah on certain knowledge. So who are the true followers of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam? The callers to Allah, the da'is, those who are working in da'wah. But not just working in da'wah. Working in da'wah on certain knowledge, on pure knowledge, pure manhaj. And the last one, sorry for taking long time, the last principle, بِأَمْرِنَا يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. They call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by our commands. They call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by our way. Not we are calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for specific agendas, specific sects. Calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specific madhab, specific way of thinking or ideologies. No, we are called to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us. As Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as fresh as the deen was revealed. Nothing will change. We do not say, nowadays, this is difficult to approach people through it, and we cannot say this is difficult, man, No, we have to call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as fresh as the deen was revealed. يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. Not to be fanatic for specific sheikh, specific scholars, specific agendas or ideologies or sects. We go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the Quran and Sunnah بفهم السلف الأول. We go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran, through the Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, by understanding and implementing the Sahaba. Clear manhaj, pure, easy. So by this way, inshallah, you will be Imam for the pious. So it's simple to explain it, but it's a bit difficult to apply it. We need to train ourselves to have more sabr. All our life we need sabr. Sabr to do the compulsory actions, compulsory deeds. So we need sabr. Sabr to be away from haram. Sabr to accept the hardships, tests we are going through. Then you need to struggle with yourself daily, to seek the knowledge, to memorize, revise, take more lessons. Imam al-Nawawi, he was taking 12 lessons a day. 12 lessons every day. We need to seek the knowledge properly, to have certain knowledge. We need to have certainty. The knowledge will enter our hearts, taking away the doubts. Not just knowing some information. No, we need certain knowledge that really makes our iman very strong. Shaitan cannot whisper to us to have doubts about Allah or about Islam or about the Prophet ﷺ. We need to call to Allah, to guide others. Be grateful for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you from Hidayah. You are here now. And how many Muslims outside? Tonight is Saturday. How many Muslims, wal'ayadu billah, they are in haram places? It's your job to call them, to make da'wah with them. Soft da'wah, nice da'wah. Soft reminders. Right? If you don't do, who will do? You are leaving them to the devils of humans and jinns. Call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on certain knowledge according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to do, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do da'wah and used to make da'wah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us imams for the pious, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the true followers of the Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها زكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا، ومتعنا بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا، واجعل الجنة هي دارنا وقرارنا. اللهم تقبل منا رمضان، اللهم تقبل منا رمضان، اللهم تقبل منا رمضان. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. والحمد لله.